Welcome to our session. Right, we're going to supercharge your child's PSLE revision. Okay, so this is a time of the year where P6 parents get a bit nervous, they get a bit, they're anticipating, okay, wondering where my child is, okay, and I'm sure you are here because you want to get some help. Okay, so today, we're going to talk about a few things, all right? We're going to talk about the new PSLE scoring system. Okay, it's all there, all right? But what is it all about? How does it affect your child? Okay, and we're going to talk about the efficient study plan. Okay, I'm going to share with you how I go about helping my students and helping my sons years back in their preparation. Then, of course, the FAQ, right? Some of you have already submitted some questions that you want us to answer, and do keep the questions coming, all right? I will try to answer as many as I can, and my colleagues are helping us as well, okay? So, the new PSLE scoring system, okay? So let's do a bit of comparison, right? In the old system, okay, let's just focus on the old system, which a lot of us are quite used to it, especially those of you who have children who have gone through PSLE. You're very familiar with this. This is what I'm super familiar with, okay? So A star, 91 to 100, and then it just follows all the way. You can see the range of marks here. Okay, the new one. In the new system, we have this thing called the achievement levels. Okay, from now on, I'm going to call it AL. Okay, so achievement levels, right? Look at the grading, right? To get a grade 1, you have to score more than 90 or 90 and more, right? 90 and more. That means if you get 90, you get a grade 1, all right? And it just follows down like this. So what's the difference? Is there a great difference between the two? Is it just another way of scoring? Well, some people will tell me that, oh, this feels like the O-level kind of scoring system. Well, somewhat. Okay, so let me share with you the differences. First, the students will gain entry to schools based on 29 possible scores. Well, in the old system, okay, in the previous scoring system, okay, let's see. In the previous scoring system, there's a possibility of more than 200 aggregate scores. All right, the very good can go up to like 285 maybe. All right, the not so good, maybe 180 something, 170 something. So the range is really, really wide. But in the new system, all right, there are only, how many? 29 possible scores. Okay, along the way, I'm going to share with you how these scoring work. All right, so look at this. In the old system, if let's say a child, student A scores 270, and then student B scores 275, well, the points, the aggregate score is difference of 5, right? Is it a lot? Yes, it is. All right, it is a lot. However, in the new system, both will have the same grade. Okay, both of them will maybe score around 4 or 5, around there. Okay, as I go along, when I show you the difference, you'll be able to decide for yourself where your child stands. Okay? And the upper AL bands have finer differentiation. Okay, let me show it to you. In the old system, grade A, right, if your child comes back and say, oh, Mom, I scored an A, all right, we are not exactly sure where the child is. Like, it can be a 75, it can be 80, it can be 90. Of course, 91 is an A star. So let's look at A, right? For A, 75 to 90. So we can't really tell where your child is, okay? Now, if you look at the new system, under the scoring A from 75 to 90, look at this. This is 89, all the way until 75, downwards, right? There are actually 3 different grades. Okay, 3 different grades. So they actually split it into 3 different grades. And each of these are more fine-tuned, okay? So the difference is actually about 5 points, like this. All right? So this is a wider range. You see that? Okay? So MOE has said that around half the cohort is expected to score above 75 for all of their subjects. Okay? Now, how about the lower AL bands? Okay, the lower AL bands have a wider mark range. Look at the old system. It is from 59 down to 20, right? This one is 64, all right, down to 20. And look, there are 3 here, C, D, and E, but here, there are only 2 grades. Okay, and in between the two grades, they are like 20, 25, that range. Okay, so you can see the difference if you go back to the original. Let's go back to this original here. All right, look at this original. This is what is happening. Okay, so you see that some are more fine-tuned and some they are more collapsed together. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so if a child were to score this kind, to do this kind, get this kind of score, English 88, mathematics 90, mother tongue 85, science 90, quite a good student. All right, in the old system, the child will score around the T-score. Okay, T-score, please, when we used to calculate PSLE marks, the aggregate score, we don't do total divided by 4 times 3 so that we can get a 300. We don't do that. There is a certain way to do it. You can go source from the internet. So the T-score, we have to use the mean, we have to use standard deviation and stuff like this. Okay, so we have done a check. This is based on a 2019 score. Okay, in the old system, this person scored 245 aggregate. All right, in the new system, how does it look like? Well, if you look at 88, it will be somewhere here, which is 2 points. Okay, and then mathematics is 90, which is a 1. All right, mother tongue 85, that will be here, a 2. All right, and science is 90, which is a 1. So this child will score 6. Okay, and from there, from this kind of score, then you have to decide which school you go to. Right? So this system is good in a sense that the subjects are actually independent of each other. Okay, so they are not related in marks, right? So if a child is very, very strong in a subject, that is to his advantage, or weak in another one, then he just have to beef up this part. Okay, and there's a wider selection of secondary school, which I will share later on. Okay, so at this point, I think some of us are going, oh, it looks scary. Okay, some of us like, oh, that's not too bad for my child. Okay, but whatever it is, whether your child is in the advanced level, very high end scoring, or not doing so fantastically well in certain of the subjects, I'm going to share with you an efficient study plan. Okay, a plan that helps you to map up your revision for your child from now until PSLE. That's only a few more months to go. Okay, and time is really short, and I'm going to help you to make it more efficient.